Okay, so basically FoodHarbor.org, we're trying to help, according to two scientific reports, WHO, World Health Organization, and American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. They state that over half these child mortalities are due to malnourishment. They're not getting enough food. But unfortunately, for some reason nowadays, like we're focused on biotechnology, vaccines. So that started up, I think, in the 80s or something, or in the 70s. And so I think there's some collusion going on with big pharma. They got lobbying power. They're paying these organizations entrusted with helping with child mortality, such as UNICEF, USAID. They're getting the money to them. And we did a study, apparently we just released in 2016, or the budget was for $115 US dollars per, sorry, there are a lot of cars, per HIV infected person. But for nutrition, we're spending 18 cents per malnourished person in the world. There are 800 million people malnourished in the world, according to the United Nations. And sorry, you normally don't see this on video, but oh well, we're homeless, so this is what you're going to expect of us. So I got several ideas. One of them is using money to help get food into these villages. India, Nigeria, Somalia, China, Pakistan, Ethiopia, these are the places. You can look on promiserenewed.org, and they have a map there and all the countries by the number of child mortalities. So one idea, Credit Suisse, they release a report on global wealth every year, and there's in 2015 there was 250 trillion US dollars. So if just 10% of us, the most generous of us, contributed 1% of our net wealth annually. So I'm on Social Security, I get like $1,200 a month. So that's like $12 a month. Well, if you don't have net wealth, then use net income. That would raise $250 trillion, $250 billion, $250 US billion around the world every year, and $25 billion in the United States. So I think that's pretty reasonable. I would do that myself, $12 per month, you know. So $25 billion is a lot of money, right?
Yes.
So that'll do a lot of good. And I think that's very reasonable. I never thought about it before. I was just working. And finally, like, I quit my job and I wanted to do something meaningful. So I think this is it, and I hope people will get on board with it because it's quite important. Every 6 seconds, there's a child dying under 5 years old, and that's not including, we have to multiply it by about 8 to account for, we're all children. Even Anna here, she's a child. I'm still a child too. We're children of our parents. So we want to start a program too, like donating just 1% of your net wealth or your net income annually. That's only half the equation. The other half is to recruit 3 other people to support FoodHarbor.org, or we might change it to feedchildrenlife.org, but it's probably FoodHarbor.org. You can find it on Facebook and like us. This is a YouTube channel that you're watching, probably. So the other half is to recruit 3 other members to also do the same, and then hopefully it'll build some sort of tree, and then we can raise this $25 billion from the United States, $250 billion from the world. And then I did a study called Nutrition Efficiency. That's taking the nutrition produced per hectare of farmland. So cassava is one, it's like a tree, and then they take out the tree and they're the roots that you eat. They use that in Africa. That's very nutrition efficient. So we're trying to get India publicize that more, so they start growing more cassava. carrots and sweet potato. These are things they need to be growing more because, and then also seaweed and oyster. So I'll tell you why. It's because our immune system, when we eat, we're looking for these nutrients. They're called, some of them identified, well, we need calories, that's energy. Protein, we need protein because they're essential amino acids that we get from our food that builds all the proteins, the machines in our bodies, the enzymes. And then we also need zinc, which we can get from oyster. That's a cofactor in the immune system. And iron is provided by seaweed, and beta carotene is converted to vitamin A. These are important nutrients needed for the immune system. So if we grow seaweed around 2.5% of Africa and India, that would feed 800 million people with 10% of their calories and 90% of their proteins every day, in addition to iron and beta carotene, the vitamin A. And then we can also grow oyster hanging from the bamboo rafts, and the oyster would provide enough zinc for them. So I think that's what we need to do. So we need to recruit people, we need to educate people about this. And then also sweet potato and carrots. Carrots provide a lot of vitamin A, a lot of beta carotene. And then sweet potatoes are also very tasty, and I think about half as much beta carotene, but still a lot. So we need to be promoting these foods. So we're trying to start a program also called Savings Count. So this, if you recruit 3 people, for instance, within 10 days, we're still working on the specifics. So the median wealth is $200,000 in the United States. So that would be $2,000 per year, about $167 a month, right? But for me, it's only $12. It's all relative, right? So they recruit 3 people within 10 days. They earn 12% interest on any deposit up to the amount your recruits donate. I know I'm still, it doesn't come out, it doesn't sound eloquent, but basically if you have 3 people and they're donating $2,000 each, you can deposit $6,000 and earn 12% per year on that. It's only going to be like a 1-year CD though, but I did a spreadsheet on that. And after 10 years, even with your own donations, you're still coming out ahead. If you recruit like 10 people every year and it grows 10, next year it's 20, you can earn 100,000 over 10 years. So I think this is a good way to get more members on board. So another problem we have is with child mortality. We need to, what we're trying to do is get child mortality under a rate of 3 within 3 years. Right now, about 7 countries have a rate over 100. Only about 2, I think maybe like Iceland and maybe Sweden are under 3. So we're trying to get everyone under 3 within 3 years. But we need job security. So that's a concern with many nonprofits nowadays. Like, what if we fix a problem? What are we going to do with jobs? So they don't really work as hard. So that's where we call this Plan A, Plan B. So Plan A, B. Plan B is we want to help. Plan A is help end child mortality and improve everyone's quality of life. So we're going to do this by helping homeless people, disabled people, senior citizens, marginalized and disenfranchised groups locally. So apparently, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics in the United States, much of the wealth is concentrated with people who are over 55 years old. So this works out great. We're going to approach older people, and we're going to figure out what their problems are. Okay, is it homelessness? Is it food? Is it wheelchair accessibility? Is it healthcare, Medicare? So we're going to help them do some legislation, and we're going to figure out what kind of nonprofits they support, why they support, why aren't they supporting FoodHarbor.org, and hopefully they're going to start donating to us too, while we help them with their problems. And those are our problems too, because in 10, 20, 30 years, I'm going to be faced with the same problems my mother and father are faced with today, right? My grandparents are faced with today. So what do you think about, do you have any thoughts on that?
I just think it's an awful situation. I just think it's an awful situation. It's a major task to try to accomplish. Somebody's got to do something, and it takes one person to start it. And go from there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who've been trying to do this. Bill Melinda Gates, for instance, Warren Buffett. We got UNICEF, WHO, FAO. Everyone's trying to help, but for some reason, it's still going linear. So I did a regression analysis and did a forecast: 70 million more children. So we need to do something differently, and we just need to do something, and we need everyone on board to do this. So, or at least 10% of us, the most generous of us. So I'm hoping that's you. Thank you for watching. So stay tuned. FoodHarbor.org. Savings count 1% of 10%, and yeah, share the message. Thank you.